This is a music revolution, and here is DJ Reem of the Coast of the Show to tell you all about it. This is the Music Revolution Show, throwing the spotlight on bands. From great music classics to the unsigned bands on Music World Radio. This is the Music Revolution, giving the spotlight and bands to shine. This is the Music Revolution on www.musicworldradio.com on Mondays at 8 o'clock. Oh yeah. Thanks! I'll read it. Enjoy it!
Right. Now that you can see, there's just no end in sight. It's so impossible to say, and it's so impossible to do. But when I hear you say that you are gonna stay there, I know you always will, and I will be waiting here still. 'Cause you are a star, and you've traveled far, but you don't know just who you are, and it's impossible this far, it's impossible this far. And when I look into your eyes, all I see is the color green, and I think I'll stick around, 'cause when I said I love you, you know I always will, and I will be waiting here still. 'Cause you are a star, and you've traveled far, but you don't know just who you are, and it's impossible this far, it's impossible this far. And when I walk into the rain, I wonder time and time again, what would life be like if you would only stay here and not against your will? Then my whole life is fulfilled. 'Cause you are a star, and you've traveled far, but you don't know just who you are, and it's impossible this far, it's impossible this far, it's impossible this far, and it's impossible this far.
That was You Are a Star, which is currently in the top 20 on Music World. Because I'll be talking to Claude Kent. He's the songwriter and lead vocalist of Clockwise, a Canadian band from Toronto. They all live in there and based there and practice, I assume. And they have been in England. Clockwise has been around for a few months now on the chart.
Hey there, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Excellent. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, you too, finally. Obviously, the tracks I just played aren't the first you wrote. Obviously, sometimes it really all depends what order you do these things in terms of like when you write tracks and when they come out. But You Are a Star, of course, is on Too Little Too Late, which is before the new album, which is Phase on Stun. is that was just nominated on? Is that actually being released as a single at all off the album?
We haven't released any singles per se.
Oh, okay.
They've always been full CD releases.
Okay.
And up until the last record, when we managed to get things on CD Baby and iTunes.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of the way I think that the music business has evolved back into the single, which actually is a good thing to see for me. So I'm happy to see the singles up there, and if people are gravitating towards them, so much the better.
Jason Bonner's been helping you promote in England, and did you two meet actually when you were in England?
Yes, we did. Jason Bonner, he's a great lad. He's been in the trenches working for me for since about last May, which was our last trip over to the UK to play at the Cavern.
Yeah, I was looking at the photographs. I thought, blimey, hell.
Yeah, it was an amazing time.
I bet it was.
Our second time there, and we had actually met Jason on the first trip.
Yeah.
As he was working for the International Pop Overthrow for David Bash.
Yeah. Well, you're a star, is what a lot of people know at the moment. I don't know if it's like, obviously it's in the chart, which is voter based, and it really goes to show that you got fans around, and congratulations on that, by the way.
Well, thank you. It's all down to you guys. I mean, this is the single that has come off our second release, which came out a number of years ago, and we thought, we moved on to another record since then, and it's amazing to me that what songs people catch on to in different countries, and I'm really happy that it's getting the attention that it's getting, and it's getting sort of a second life, if you will.
But it seems to be very catchy, and obviously you songwrite, so you know these things. You've done it for quite some time over the years with writing in different bands. What we're going to do, Claude, is obviously got your influences. They range from Beach Boys up to Aztec Camera. But the one I'm going to play, then we're going to go back a bit in history, so to speak, is the Beach with the Buddy Holly song and True Love Ways. We'll come back and have a bit more of a chat.
Sometimes we'll sigh, sometimes we'll cry, and we'll know why, just you and I know true love ways.
Thanks for playing that track. I realize now, how it may seem odd to play something like that, but as a songwriter, I really truly appreciate what's gone into the writing process of that song.
Yeah. With that specific track in mind, when was the first time you heard it, and was that one of the main reasons to go into songwriting in the first place?
Not ever considering to be a songwriter, but always wanting to be involved as a musician.
Yeah.
My first foray into music was playing drums in a punk rock group called the Fits in Toronto, who were one of the first on the scene, along with bands like the Vile Tones, the Curse, the Ugly, Forgotten Rebels, Blue Peter, and so on.
How long were you in punk bands until you changed direction?
I really just played in the one, and a couple of other. Of course, my tastes were continuing to evolve, and I changed along with it, and So yeah, I was around. I was playing drums. I was honing my craft. I was learning to play other instruments, and I guess just gathering influence to the point where I got myself up to the sort of mid '90s, and was frustrated with some of the groups that I had played in because having invested my time and my effort in supporting them. And having things not come to fruition and watching other people sort of blow opportunities, I thought, I can do this myself. Hitched my wagon to a buddy of mine who had a Porta studio, and we started to demo songs and see who was interested in playing these songs in a live band situation. And I just simply went back to the people who I thought were solid, who were my friends, who could be depended upon to invest in a group like this, and that's when I called in Brent Welburn, who's the current lead guitar player of Clockwise and has always been there from the very onset. He was in a band called Katie's Bridge with myself.
Yeah, I see that on there.
And Jason Egan, who's the current bass player in Clockwise as well. He wasn't the first bass player, but he was certainly the first choice and the second bass player in the group, and he's been there ever since. Probably one of the best bass players I've ever had the pleasure to play music with. And the original drummer was another fellow that was a lead singer in a group that I was in at one time. So basically it was a collection of friends, musician friends, and the process of the evolution of the group had one change, and that was to change the rhythm section. The last change being to get James Pollock, our current drummer in the group, which solidified the rhythm section to the point where, I mean, these two guys can do anything they set their minds to.
Yeah.
They're one of the most solid rhythm sections I've ever heard. I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I am. But no, I know that I can stand up front night after night after night and depend on these guys to produce the rhythm that is required to get these songs across to the audience with feeling.
Yeah. Right. And out the last two albums, which would you think reflects the punk time, or is?
Well, I think there's a song on every release we've had that sort of points back to those roots.
Yeah.
On the first record, Accidentally on Purpose, if you listen to the track Rich and Famous, which is one of our hallmark pieces live, if that doesn't scream punk rock at you, I'm not sure what does. But if you fast forward to Faders on Stun, which is our last release, there's a track called Water on the Moon, which is a tongue-in-cheek sort of look at where science kind of was a few years back. That is also definitely influenced by punk rock.
Right, this is going into of Faders on Stun. I just love that song. Every time I read that, I like it. And this is Water on the Moon on Music World Radio.
About the crazy, messed up things I've ever heard, this has got to be the most incredibly absurd. They've got